What's up, everyone? We're Brian and Benjamin Tercero, local brothers and licensed realtors here in the beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We're here to help you get educated on what it's like to be a Santa Fe local, and more importantly, to help you become one by guiding you through every single step of the home buying journey. So if you're curious about Santa Fe living, tap on that subscribe button and make sure that you're notified every single time that we drop a new video.
And if you're planning a move to Santa Fe or anywhere in New Mexico for that matter, just give us a call, shoot us a text, send an email, or just drop a comment down below. However you want to reach us, we're here for it. This isn't just about real estate, it's about helping you find home. Let us be your guide.
If you're thinking about retiring or buying a second home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, this video is for you because let's be honest, buying a home later in life isn't just about square footage or price per square foot. It's about your lifestyle, stability, peace of mind. You worked too hard to spend your next chapter stressed out by unpredictable cost, noisy neighborhoods, or a home that doesn't support the way your life is changing. So we're going to walk you through the 7 most important questions retirees and second home buyers ask, questions about maintenance, accessibility, location, cost, and safety, so you can make a confident, informed decision about whether Santa Fe is right for you. And not just the polished version. We're going to tell you the truth, what to expect, what to plan for, and why the city has become such a haven for people who want to live more simply, more beautifully, and more freely. We're local, we're raised here, and we've helped hundreds of people find not just houses, but homes that make sense for who they are now and who they're becoming. So get comfortable, and this is everything you need to know before you retire in Santa Fe.
All right, let's start with the first question I get from almost every retiree who's thinking about moving to Santa Fe. It usually happens right after the home tour, out on the portal, eyes squinting at the horizon, when someone leans in and says, "So, is this home low maintenance?" And look, I get it. You're not looking to spend your weekends battling the hedge trimmer or repairing a second-story deck. You're looking for peace, for simplicity, for a house that finally gives you some time back. And this is where Santa Fe really shows off. See, most homes here are single level, built to last and built for the climate. Most have few, if any, stairs, unless if you want a multi-story, of course. But no drafty attics, no grass to mow, or rotting siding to replace. Inside, you'll find tile or polished concrete floors, cool underfoot, easy to clean, and perfect for the dry desert air. Plus, many homes have radiant in-floor heat to keep those floors and toes warm in the winter. Outside, you're working with flat roofs and xeriscaping, which means no snow-packed shingles or soggy lawns. Instead, you've got native plants, gravel pathways, and a yard that practically takes care of itself. Now, here's the honest truth no one tells you on the brochure. Low maintenance doesn't mean no maintenance. In Santa Fe, there are 3 things every homeowner should keep an eye on: stucco, the roof, and exterior woodwork. Now let's break that down. A stucco is beautiful, but it's the skin of your home. It needs to be resealed or touched up every 3 to 5 years to prevent water intrusion or cracking. Flat roofs are common here, and while they're great in a dry climate, they need regular inspections, ideally once a year, to check for pooling, debris, or UV damage. It's a small step that can prevent big issues in the future. And then there's the wood, things like vigas, lintels, or trim. These add warmth and authenticity to Santa Fe homes, but they're exposed to sun, snow, and wind year-round. Keeping them sealed and treated every few years preserves both their beauty and your home's structural integrity. It's not overwhelming, but it is intentional. And most importantly, when you stay on top of those things, your home will take incredible care of you. It'll stay strong, beautiful, and resilient, just like the city around it. I've had clients say I didn't realize how much stress my old house was putting on me until they moved here. And that's really it. A Santa Fe home doesn't demand constant attention. It just asks you to respect the elements now and then. Do that and it'll reward you with peace, simplicity, and time to do what actually matters to you. So no, this isn't settling, it's simplifying. It's right-sizing your life and saying yes to a home that lets you live instead of manage.
All right, let's talk about something that doesn't always get asked out loud, but it's definitely on the back of mind for folks moving here in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. Will this home still work for me in 10, 20, 30 years from now? Here's the truth. Planning for the future doesn't mean surrendering to decline. It means investing in freedom, because aging in place isn't about bracing for the worst. It's about building a home that lets you keep doing your life your way, as long as possible. And the beauty of Santa Fe is this: so many of our homes already lean in that direction. You'll find single level layouts all across the city, no stairs to worry about, wide hallways that flow easily, open floor plans that feel spacious, breathable, and accessible. And then there's the small stuff, the stuff that makes a big difference over time, like walk-in showers with built-in benches or room to add one later, space to add grab bars if and when they're needed, lever-style door handles instead of knobs, minimal thresholds between rooms. You can find homes that already have these features, or ones that can be customized without major renovations. And when we help clients shop, we're looking for both, what works now and what can grow with you. We also talk about lighting, flooring, and functionality, natural light for well-being, non-slip surfaces, main bedrooms on the ground floor. Sometimes it's as simple as making sure that you can reach every single light switch and cabinet without climbing anything. That's dignity and long-term safety by design. And in Santa Fe, it goes one layer deeper because this isn't just about mobility, it's about lifestyle. You want a home that feels good to move through, a home that you can still host Thanksgiving in, still welcome your grandkids into, still feel proud of no matter what stage of life you're in. I've seen it over and over again. Clients walk into the right home and something in their body just relaxes. No fear, no adjustments, just a feeling of, yeah, I could grow old here and I could be happy doing it. That's aging in place in Santa Fe. It's not medical, it's meaningful. It's giving your future self the gift of staying independent, surrounded by beauty for as long as you choose, because aging gracefully starts with living wisely. And Santa Fe, she's already one step ahead of you.
And when people come to Santa Fe, especially those considering retirement, it's not just a change of scenery they're after, it's a change of pace, of rhythm, of the way their nervous system feels when they wake up in the morning. And they've spent decades in cities, suburbs, buzzing communities, and endless obligations. And now they're looking for something quieter, simpler, not small, but still. So the question I hear all the time, can I find a peaceful home without giving up access to what I need? Now let me answer that with every ounce of honesty I've got. Yes, in Santa Fe, you don't have to choose between serenity and convenience. You can have both. This place was built on that balance. You can live on a hilltop where the only sounds are wind, coyotes in the distance, and maybe a hawk cutting across the sky, and you're still 10 minutes away from medical care. Still close to groceries, restaurants, art galleries, hardware stores, and everything that you need for daily life. That's not wishful thinking, that's just how Santa Fe is laid out. The sprawl here is gentle, the roads are scenic. You don't need to drive 40 minutes to feel like you've escaped the noise. You just need to pull into the right neighborhood. And we've helped clients find homes in Soli Lomas, where the trees are mature and lots are generous. In Museum Hill, where you can walk out of your door and be surrounded by cultural beauty and natural peace. In Las Estancias, where you feel like you're in a private retreat, yet you're still within minutes of everything. Even areas like South Capitol or Casa Solana, which are right near the heart of the city, have quiet streets, friendly neighbors, and a rhythm that respects your breathing room. And for those that want to be tucked out even further, El Dorado, Tesuca, and even parts of La Tierra will show you where the silence is real, but so is the high-speed internet and a short drive into town. Here's what I tell people all the time. Stillness doesn't have to mean isolation, and closeness doesn't have to mean chaos. In Santa Fe, you can go from your back portal, sipping coffee, wrapped in a blanket, watching the mountains wake up, to your favorite gallery, your favorite cafe, or your doctor's office in under 15 minutes. You can hike a trail in the morning, soak in the hot springs in the afternoon, and catch an opera at sunset without ever feeling rushed. Because this place doesn't just slow you down, it invites you into a new tempo, one that's more grounded, spacious, and let's just be honest, sacred, but still connected. You've worked your whole life to earn peace. What you shouldn't have to do is give up community, culture, or comfort to find it. Santa Fe says here, have both. Here's a quiet place that still knows your name, a space to land without cutting you off from what you love. So if your heart's been craving calm, but your mind still needs to know you're near a good hospital, a trusted grocer, or a little live music on a Friday night, you're not being picky, you're being wise. This chapter of life doesn't need to be loud, but it should still be fun. And in Santa Fe, it can absolutely be both.
Let's talk about something that isn't exciting, but it's absolutely essential, because for a lot of retirees, it's the question that shapes everything that comes next. Can I actually afford to live here and stay here comfortably? We're talking about property taxes, HOA fees, monthly costs, the real numbers that don't show up in the listing photos, but it impacts your peace of mind. And here's where Santa Fe offers something special, because while the homes may look like they belong in a museum, the costs, they're often a lot less than what you're used to. New Mexico has some of the lowest property taxes in the country, and we're talking consistently lower than California, New York, Colorado, and even Texas in many cases. We've watched clients breathe a sigh of relief when they see their first projected tax bill. It's often thousands of dollars less than what they're paying in their previous home. And that's not just a win, it's a lifeline, because in retirement, it's not about how much you have, it's about how long what you have will last. Now, let's talk about the HOAs. Here's what you need to know. Many neighborhoods in Santa Fe either don't have them or keep them low and simple. That means no micromanaging, no excessive dues, and no sudden special assessments because someone decided the clubhouse just needed a gold-plated fountain. Now that said, there are several communities where the HOA fees are more substantial, and so are the restrictions. So it really comes down to a choice of lifestyle on your part. In places where HOA fees are higher, like gated communities, townhomes, or condo developments, those fees often go towards things that genuinely add value. Like in Las Campanas, where you have 24/7 roaming security and paramedics on site with much quicker response times than an ambulance from the hospital, because they are completely committed to that one neighborhood. With condos, fees can sometimes include exterior building maintenance, snow removal, common area maintenance, and maybe even security or insurance for shared structures. And we walk you through all of it: the taxes, the fees, the utilities, everything you need to actually understand the full cost of ownership. Being able to review this information, it's a contingency in your contract. No surprises, no assumptions, just truth. Because your home shouldn't just be beautiful on day one, it should be sustainable in year 10. And if you're coming from a place where you've been nickeled and dimed, where taxes are high, insurance is a mess, and fees seem to rise every time you blink, Santa Fe can feel like stepping off a treadmill you didn't even know you were on. I'm not saying it's perfect, but what I am saying is you deserve clarity and you deserve fairness, and in this city, you can often find both. A home that doesn't just nourish your soul, but honors your budget too.
All right, let's talk about safety. Not just locks and gates and systems, but real peace of mind. The kind that lets you travel freely, the kind that lets you sleep deeply. See, a lot of our clients come to Santa Fe asking, can this be a lock and leave? Is this the kind of place where I could come and go without worry? And the answer is, it depends. Because here's the truth, safety is unpredictable. You can have the nicest house in the best neighborhood and still feel that twinge of unease if you don't have the right systems in place. Life is unpredictable, but peace of mind, now that's something you can plan for. That's why we walk our clients through every angle of lock and leave living, from neighborhood security to smart tech to community culture, because all of it matters. Here in Santa Fe, there are communities like Las Campanas where security is so strong, I've had clients tell me they don't even lock their doors. That's not an exaggeration. With 24/7 staffed gates, roving patrols, and a reputation for being one of the safest, most well-managed communities in the state, Las Campanas gives you the kind of security that doesn't just feel good, it's backed by infrastructure. But whether you're in Las Campanas or a quiet part of El Dorado, we always recommend taking advantage of what's available. Smart locks, remote camera systems, automated lighting, doorbell cams, water sensors. These tools aren't about being paranoid, they're about staying connected, no matter where you are. For many of our clients, it's not about locking the door out of fear. It's about being able to look at your phone while you're on the beach in San Diego and think, yeah, everything's just as I left it. And that's the goal. Not just security, but stability, the kind that lets you be gone for a season and come home to a space that hasn't missed a beat. So yes, Santa Fe absolutely supports lock and leave living, but we help you build that peace of mind on purpose through smart design, through trusted systems, through knowing the lay of the land, not just geographically, but even emotionally, because your home should be a sanctuary, even when you're not in it. And when you return, it should welcome you back like you never left.
There's a moment that hits for almost every buyer, usually toward the end of the process and after they've toured the homes, imagined the mornings on the portal, maybe even pictured grandkids visiting. And then, almost like a whisper, the practical voice shows up and asks, what if I ever need to sell? Will this home hold its value, or am I locking myself into something that might be hard to move later? And I always tell them, asking that question doesn't mean you're being pessimistic, it means you're being smart. Because peace of mind doesn't just come from falling in love with a home, it comes from knowing that you could leave it if you had to and still land on your feet. And here's the good news. Santa Fe is a place where resale value, when approached wisely, is absolutely sustainable. But it's not automatic. It comes down to 3 factors that we help every client assess: location, livability, and long-term demand. Location isn't just about views, it's about stability. Of course, views matter, but in Santa Fe, location means proximity to medical care, cultural hubs, access to trails or green space, and neighborhoods with a strong track record of demand. Areas like South Capitol, Casa Solana, Las Campanas, Museum Hill, Hyde Park, and even parts of El Dorado, they consistently attract buyers, especially those relocating from out of state who value charm, safety, and access. See, we study market patterns, not just price points, so you don't get caught with a gorgeous home in an area that flatlines during downturns or gets overlooked when inventory spikes. Next, layout matters more than you think. A beautiful home with a poor layout is still a tough sell, and that's why we guide you towards homes that have universal appeal. Single level floor plans are huge for aging buyers and for future you. Good natural light, open living spaces, and easy indoor-outdoor flow make every showing feel better because they live better. Homes with flexible spaces like offices that could become guest rooms or studio spaces are more adaptable to different buyers over time. See, we're not just looking at what you need now. We're looking at what 80% of buyers will still want in 10 years. Next, condition and care matter more than upgrades. Some people think resale value means chasing trends, granite countertops, fancy appliances, the latest light fixtures, but in Santa Fe, that's not what creates long-term value. Steady, thoughtful maintenance wins every time. A well-maintained stucco finish, a roof that's been inspected and resealed, wood vigas that haven't been neglected, a heating system that's been serviced. These are the things a future buyer will ask about, and when your answer is solid, they'll lean in. Even modest homes that have been loved, cared for, and respected often sell faster and for more than flashier homes that have been neglected. And here's the deeper truth. None of us know what the future will hold. You might live here for 30 years, or you might decide 5 or 10 years from now to be closer to family, to chase a new adventure, or to just simplify your life even further. Flexibility is freedom, and we want you to have that. That's why from day one, we're helping you look at every home, not just through the lens of, can I live here? But also through the lens of, could someone else fall in love with this too? Because when you choose wisely, a home in Santa Fe can both be a sanctuary and a smart asset. Not a burden that you have to unload, but a gift that you can pass on, trade up from, or gracefully exit when the time is right. And that's what real peace of mind looks like. A home you love to live in without fear of being stuck in it.
There's one more question that doesn't always make it into the first conversation, but it's just as important as property taxes or floor plans. The question is, will I actually feel at home here? Will this place welcome me, not just as a buyer, but as a person? And let's be honest, that's not something any realtor can guarantee. Belonging isn't handed to you at closing, it's something you have to build. It takes time, intention, and a little bit of humility. But here's what I can tell you. Santa Fe offers real community. Not the kind you're force-fed, not shiny and curated, but real. And it's there for the people who are willing to show up for it. There are farmers markets where vendors remember your name, local restaurants where the person at the next table will strike up a conversation just because, neighbors who will show up with food when they hear that you're going through a difficult time, volunteer groups, art circles, spiritual gatherings, hiking clubs, real connection if you're open to finding it. But it's also like treasure. You don't always find it on day one. You have to look, you have to try, and sometimes you have to try again. Because just like anywhere else, you'll meet people who aren't your people. People who are having a bad day or a bad decade. You might get cut off in traffic or run into someone who's less than kind. That's life, that's human nature, and Santa Fe isn't immune to that. But what I've seen over and over again is that the good far outweighs the bad. And the people who give this city a little bit of time and show up honestly almost always find their rhythm. They start to recognize familiar faces at the coffee shop. They find their go-to hiking spot. They discover their kind of people, and usually they're just around the corner. So if you're asking, will I feel at home here? The honest answer is that depends on you. It depends on whether you're willing to meet the city halfway, to try new things, to introduce yourself, to listen, to bring a little patience and a lot of presence, because Santa Fe doesn't perform for anyone. We wear jeans for formal events, for goodness sake. But if you respect the pace, the people, and the place, it opens up in ways that feel rare. Not perfect, but real. Quietly powerful and deeply human. And when that happens, when you realize you're not just living here, but actually belonging here, that's when Santa Fe starts to feel less like a destination and more like a place that you were always meant to land.
So now you've heard the 7 big questions retirees and second home buyers ask us every day. And you've also heard the truth about how Santa Fe answers them. This city offers something rare: beauty without chaos, culture without overwhelm, simplicity without sacrifice, and homes that can meet you exactly where you are in life. So if this spoke to you, if something in your body relaxed as you listened, that's not an accident. That's Santa Fe calling you in. If you're ready to explore what it could look like to live here, to retire here, to come and go, to settle in or start fresh, we'd love to help.
So thank you so much for watching. And again, if you're planning a move to Santa Fe or anywhere in New Mexico, give us a call, shoot us a text, send an email, or just drop a comment down below. However you want to reach us, we're here for it. No pressure, just real support from locals who know this place inside and out. We'd be honored to serve you in your journey to Santa Fe. Let us be your guide.